is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night. Morning Meditations with C.J. Marshall.
Good morning. There is a problem in our world that we all deal with, and we can never get away from. It separates families and congregations, and it is the problem of physical death. See, you and I are tied to this life, and we are physical beings, and when our soul leaves our body, we are dead, according to the end of James. Listen to what Paul says next in 1 Corinthians 15, verse 20. But now Christ is risen from the dead and has become the first fruits of those who fall asleep. For since by man came death, by man also came the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Christ all shall be made alive. But each in his own order. Christ the first fruits, afterwards those who are at Christ's coming. Then comes the end, when he delivers the kingdom to God the Father, and he puts an end to all rule and authority and power. For he must reign till he has put all enemies under his feet. The last enemy that will be destroyed is death. Verse 27. For he has put all things under his feet, but when he says all things are under him, it is evident that he who put all things under him is accepted. Now when all things are made subject to him, then the Son himself will also be subject to him who put all things under him. Before, in verse 12, Paul says, if Christ has not been risen, and he gives us some implication. Now, in verse 20, it's a statement of fact. Christ has been risen, and he's the first fruits of those who fall asleep. Christ is the first person to die and be raised, never to die again. There have been other resurrections in the Bible, but they all went to die once more. And so he talks about the problem of death in Adam, and in Christ that all shall be made alive. And he talks about the order of things. Christ is the first fruits, and then afterwards we will be resurrected, and after that we will be transported into God's kingdom, and death is destroyed. That great separator, death is destroyed, and God's kingdom comes in its fullness. It's here in the church right now, but then in the resurrection, the kingdom is at its pinnacle, because death is no longer a player, a game changer. It's off the board. We need to look for that day. We need to long for the day where God will make things right. God will rule, and God will put all the enemies of Jesus under his feet. Until then, we deal with physical death. But don't get discouraged. God will make things right through his son Jesus, and his followers will have victory. Thank you all for joining me for another episode of Morning Meditation. May we always be like the psalmist that says, "Oh, how I love you, Lord. It is my meditation all the day." I'll see you next time. God bless.
Morning meditations, oh how I love thy law, it is my meditation all the day, all the night, morning through night. And I delight in the law of the Lord, and on his law I meditate day and night.